This is now the second time I've opened up on uncomfortable silence that you people have to put yourselves through, possibly questioning whether your computer's sounds are working. Nope, don't worry, everything's fine. It's just that we are once again at a point where the volume isn't on. Oop, there, you may have seen my mouse just jump there. Don't mind if you saw that. The game, of course, is Ace Attorney, Phoenix Wright. We are doing Wright from the Ashes. Here, let me show you that there's sound here. Yeah, blip, blip, blip. There you go. So last time we started, well, actually we were already busy investigating. Didn't get a whole lot done, but we found out that there is a suspect for the second killing of Bruce Goodman. That would be... oh gosh, what's his name? I completely blacked out what his name is. Meekins, Mike Meekins. Oh, actually, I don't think we ever knew his first name, actually, so far. We just knew that it was Meekins. But yes, Officer Meekins, or Patrolman Meekins, whatever it is. He is the prime suspect for the killing of Goodman in the evidence room. We were about to go to the evidence room, but we couldn't get there because the place was locked up. Then we went to see Meekins, and then on the way back, we bumped into Police Chief Gant again, who we chatted up a bit, and we got permission to go see the evidence room. Although, what's interesting is, I don't think we got an item. No. I remember that Mr. Gant gave us a second ID card to let ourselves get inside there. I would have loved to have compared that ID card to the one we have, which belonged to Goodman. And I would have loved to have compared it to this note we got about Goodman's lost item report, where it appears that there's a number 9 there instead of a number 8. So many important details there. But, not much else to go at the moment, so we still have to take this weird circuitous route to get to the evidence room by first going to the entrance and then to the evidence room, but that's what we'll be doing today. See what we can drum up there. No cutscenes here. Oh, well, first we have to go to the guard station, which, oddly, we did not see Mr. Marshall there, even though that's obviously who hangs out down there. Let's see if he waylays us this time on our way in. No. Alright then. No Mr. Marshall still for us. That's very odd, that is. But let's see if we can now swipe ourselves into the evidence room. A small little detail, by the way, when it comes to like a little bit of incongruity here. We were able to get into the evidence room no problem back during the Edgeworth case. You know, we had to look up some stuff about DL6, and back then there wasn't this hassle, but you know, outside of the game, like, they hadn't planned for all of this yet at the time, so that's why we just got into the evidence room. In game lore, it's easy to justify that. Well, not super easy to justify that Marshall would let Phoenix in. The defense lawyer is not supposed to go around investigating, but, like, Phoenix has a proven track record of somehow talking his way into evidence places, so probably it isn't too much of a stretch to imagine that he managed to somehow get his way inside, you know. So we'll just let that go and carry on this time with all of this stuff. The evidence room is beyond that door. And we have the ID card from Chief Gant. Let's just walk in. It won't open. Aha! The card reader is turned off, see? What is that security guard thinking?
Howdy, partners. Well, what's made my bambina's sky so gray?
Oh, this is the one time I'm like, I know exactly whose voice I'm supposed to do in these question marks, because, you know, who the heck else would be opening up with the little Rio Grande act there? Oh, finally. The man himself. Oh, that's so cool. Officer Marshall also has the police logo. He's got that lapel pin there keeping his cloak held. Ah, nice. I'm seeing that symbol everywhere now that it's been brought up to my attention.
Officer Marshall! Why does it have to be him?
What's that why does it have to be him look for? As you may have surmised, this here's my saloon.
We're here to investigate the crime scene.
Huh. Gee-haw! That card you got there on your chest. That's better than a sheriff's badge in these parts.
Yee-haw?
Well, what you standing there for? Get along, little dogies. The crime scene's awaiting.
Beep.
Looks like the card reader's on again. While we're here, I was wondering if we could ask you some questions.
Sorry, cowboy, but I got no mind to tangle with you hombres.
You're busy then?
Did I say that? I only said I didn't wish to speak with you.
Actually, you said you had no mind to tangle with us hombres.
That is kind of what he said. Oh, they've reset all the dialogue for the items here. Okay, let's run through these real quick. Oh, cool! It's because he has new dialogue here to go. Interesting. Okay, so it's actually worth it to examine here while Marshall's around. Okay. So we had a look at the clothes there, and Emma was doing the leather jacket, leather pants, whatever those are. And then Marshall's like,
those aren't pants, those are chaps. And that's a poncho up there.
Aha! A poncho. It sure looks cool, but the name is a little silly.
Oh wow, no retort to that, Marshall? Okay.
This cactus sure is prickly. It must be real.
Best keep your distance from Billy there. You're liable to get hurt.
Billy? The cactus has a name? Billy, you're wearing your cowboy hat on your hand.
Ah, my rawhide cow skin 10-gallon hat.
Objection. I'm pretty sure a 10-gallon hat needs to be way bigger than that. Certainly doesn't look like 10 gallons to me. Not that I quite remember what a gallon is, but I'm pretty sure it's around the parts of... It's at least as big as a liter, and that ain't no 10-liter hat, that's for sure.
I just picked that up, but Billy took a fancy to it.
Looks like it got stuck on the spines and he couldn't get it off. That's kind of funny. I like that he's like playing it cool, like I meant to do that.
Look at this swinging door, just like a Wild West saloon.
Ah, sorry partner, we're closed for the day.
Huh?
You all get along home now.
I think Officer Marshall really wanted to be a Wild West bartender.
I always wanted to say that.
Oh, living the dream here. I get the feeling he doesn't get a lot of people down here, which is odd given that it is the evidence room, but
You sure have a lot of monitors in here.
There's 8 cameras in the evidence room in all. 1 for each section.
Which monitor shows the section where the crime took place?
Why do cattle sit before the rains come? It's not for man to know.
Unless you're the security guard responsible.
Yeah, what? Also, I'm sure you could totally come up with a valid reason for why cattle sit before the rains, whatever the heck he said. I'm sure you could figure out a reason.
Look, on the floor, it's a lasso.
Looks like it's set up to trap something.
I just roped me a steer with this here lasso.
What?
It was a bellowing moo, pal, moo.
Detective Gumshoe, I presume. Oh, that's incredible.
Move, pal! I said move! Let me go! Grr.
Oh, incredible. I love the idea of these two fighting. The evidence room is beyond that door.
I turned on the card reader. Go have yourself a ball, partners.
And I have the ID card. A real ID card.
Let's get this investigation started already. Not before we talk to Marshall. Now, I know what we're supposed to do. It's blatantly obvious, but I just want to see what he says if we try to talk to him first.
I was wondering if we could talk to you?
Sorry, Bambino, but I'm off to roam the lands like a tumbleweed on the wide prairie. Like a gunslinger loading his six-shooter, I say a little prayer.
That wasn't exactly a little prayer, it was quite a bellowing one.
What was that all about, Mr. Wright?
I think he was just too hungry to talk.
You're just saying that because his stomach was growling. You have no idea what he was talking about either.
Well, in any case, we need to get cracking on this investigation pronto, as the marshal would say, I'm sure. Okay, let's actually save some time this time. I'm sure this is a case of nothing gets done until we give him the steak lunch. So let's go.
That smell. Reminds me of Texas.
So, Officer Marshall? You're from Texas?
Nah, I just saw a special on television the other day. Is this from my baby?
Yeah, Miss Starr.
What's this?
What? What's wrong?
A filet steak lunch. I see. I
don't see. I wonder what it means.
Steak lunch given to Officer Marshall. Yeah, I'm confused. What is he babbling on about? Were we tricked? Have we fooled? Or have we, burned our bridges? Did Angel Star fool us into burning our bridges with Officer Marshall? We'll see where this goes.
All right, Bambino, you win. Ask anything.
Finally, it seems like
he's willing to talk.
Groovy. Now let's once more from the top, shall we?
Officer Marshall, you're in charge of security for the evidence room, right?
You got good eyes, partner. It's an easy job, and I'm grateful for it.
Actually, Officer Meekins at the detention center told us.
That poor little doggy. Poor guy. Keep getting his name wrong and calling him Meekly.
He told us something. He said that, when the stabbing occurred, you weren't at your station.
Well, maybe I shouldn't be telling you this, but since I got demoted from detective 2 years ago, well, you might not look it, but I lost my fire for the job, you know.
So, what were you doing around 5:15 when the murder took place?
Well, I reckon I was galloping down the highway on the back of my steed, Zippy.
Note, he was riding down the highway on his horse named Zippy.
There's no need for people here anyhow. These newfangled machines do a bang-up job of keeping an eye on the place.
You mean the security camera system?
I don't take to machines much. Kinda like that stewed broccoli they sneak in next to your steak, you know?
I don't, but sure. We'll go with that, Mr. Marshall.
Miss Starr told us something. She said that you were a detective until 2 years ago.
It was always my dream to be a rawhide wrangler on the scene of the crime. That's all gone now, like a drinking hole in a prairie fire.
You're still investigating the SL9 incident with Miss Starr, aren't you?
That was my case. It's all solved on the record books, but it smells like a bad game of poker. I can't let it go. That's all there is to it.
What kind of case was it anyway? We've heard the name so many times, but no one tells us what actually happened.
There are some things you're better off not knowing, Bambina. Anyway, that case is officially dead as of 2 days ago.
2 days ago? The day of our case?
That's right. The evidence transferals.
Edgeworth was talking about the transferals too. I kind of don't remember that part, but hopefully Marshall will remind us when we get to that. Like, what was that business then? For a second, I thought he was implying that the statute of limitations was up, just like we were afraid would happen with DL6 in the last case, but okay, that's not the case then.
I know what maybe 2 of the machines in here do.
Only 2 of them? There must be a dozen!
Like I said, Bambina, me and machines, well, I like them about as much as I like stewed cauliflower with my steaks. The easiest ones to understand are these here security cameras.
Those are the ones that Officer Meekins mentioned.
If nothing happens, the tapes are automatically erased every few hours.
And Officer Meekins and Detective Goodman, are they on one of those tapes?
I reckon they might be.
You're the security guard and you reckon?
One more thing. When you go into the evidence room, you need an ID card.
That's the card reader by the door.
The card reader leaves a record of every ID card that passes through.
Oh, that's very useful. Oh, well, that is a problem. Unfortunately, there isn't a 5-9 there, which was the thing on, you know, the beginning here. Oh, no. Right here, it's a 5-9, so unfortunately that wasn't there, which I was hoping for is, you know, find that one here. Actually, I think that's Goodman's number right there, so Goodman's card was logged in at 5:14 p.m. That's not good. That's not good at all.
So, this is the ID card record.
Hey, I've seen that somewhere before.
Sorry, Bambina, I can't show you more than that.
Huh?
I haven't heard whether this is related to the case yet.
Mr. Wright, I saw a number on that record just now. I've seen that number before.
Maybe there's some way I can prove that the record is tied to the stabbing.
Ah, so we're gonna throw down the card in a hot second. Very good.
Sorry, but could you explain what this whole transferal thing is about?
We keep only evidence from solved cases in this room. Are kept here under the presiding detective's supervision for 2 years. So we can reinvestigate them if it turns out there was a mistake, see?
So, what happens to the evidence after 2 years?
Goes to sleep forever in the underground vault at the country sheriff's department. That's what we call transferal. We do it every February.
I see now.
Transferal is like a funeral for old cases. 2 years after a case is solved, it's closed forever. Dead. Never to be reopened again. Never to be reinvestigated.
And that happened to SL9 2 days ago.
Weird. It totally sounds like you still could investigate a case if it's being kept in some vault somewhere. Okay, let's see if we can bounce through. Well, I've shown a lot of these items actually to Marshall. I can't remember which ones we had and didn't have the first time we talked to him. I think it was around the time we got the phone, so everything from there we could try showing to him. Let's see. Like this one I remember showing. Let's see what he said about this. I can't remember.
The sheriffs back in the Wild West didn't place much faith in evidence. About the only thing they trusted was their shooting hand.
This is neither Wild nor West here.
Aha! But that and this are 2 different things entirely.
I guess so? Huh? I'm lost.
Looks like we need some evidence to get anywhere with this guy.
Even though he just said he doesn't trust evidence? Okay. Does he say the same thing with everything? Okay, I feel like, I don't know. I have a hunch that, because they're, you know, they're selling us so hard to use this. I don't know if any of these items are going to get anything out of him. Maybe this because this is SL9 related? No, okay. So I think normally I'd go through every item, but I kind of feel like that's... I have this gut instinct that's not going to work this time. So... let's just jump to the card for once, okay? We cool with that, everybody? Kind of feels like this isn't gonna work out, so... this should get some results, though. See this? This is the victim's ID card. Ah, the one that was on the ground in the parking lot?
The number on this is 584-2189. Officer Marshall, show us that ID card record again.
Here we go. I spotted it. It's right there. What's interesting is that there's a second number there, and that same number, 498-9596, has been used twice. Once a little bit before, like 25 minutes before, Marshall's card was used, and it does have the number 9 as the second digit, although it's not a 5-9, so, I need to keep that in mind. That might be important.
Look, the fourth number. It's a perfect match. It was used at 5:14, right before the stabbing.
What's more, there's only one of them cards in the world.
So when the incident occurred, Detective Goodman was in the evidence room. But wait, what did Officer Meekins say?
Sir, I entered the evidence room and asked the man to display his ID card.
So you asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card. What did he do?
That's the thing! Suddenly, he pointed a knife at me!
If he had his ID card, then why would he have pointed a knife at Officer Meekins?
Alright, compadre, you win. I guess I can give you this ID card record.
Groovy. This is going to be very useful, especially if I can point to that one number showing up twice there. You know, that might be very, very important.
I've got an idea. Maybe I should show this list to other people with IDs here.
Interesting. Who else would that be? Let me see what... Does Marshall say anything new? No? Okay. Yeah, I don't... Okay, one more just to sate my curiosity. Let's go with this crime photo. Nothing. Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna do this time. It feels like everything but the card was gonna work here. Although, what happens if I use that again? Oh, no, hold on. I didn't realize we'd go through the whole Roomba again. Okay, I thought like it would have updated the dialogue, but this one was like... If you want to be reminded about the whole damn business, you can use it again. Okay, well, we don't need it. We don't need to do that right now. I got what I needed. So, let's go to the evidence room before we head back upstairs. And here I need to remember to use Luminol. This is where a murder happened, so this seems important, you know?
It's quiet. The investigation must be over here. So this is the evidence room? It really is kind of like a graveyard. Graveyards are supposed to have grass and trees. This feels more like a morgue.
He's not wrong, all those hatches over there in those cabinets.
Nice try, Mr. Wright. You can't scare me.
Whoa, Gumshoe!
Sorry, I thought you were a ghost.
I wouldn't recommend going around smacking ghosts on the head, pal. So, is it true what I heard?
Righto, please. Do I look like a selfish man? Heck, if anyone asked me, sir, can I borrow $50? I'd give them $50, no problem. So go ahead, investigate that room to your heart's desire. Knock yourself out.
Yeah, it's true. So, Chief of Police Gant, will loan anyone $50? Even me?
Yeah, I was kind of hoping as soon as we got that flashback, I was kind of hoping that this gag would be what would come up. And it's there. That's great.
Oh, so that's what you were talking about.
Actually, I was put in charge of the investigation for today.
Just for today? Boss for a day.
But guess what? You got permission from the chief. So now you're boss for a day.
Gee, thanks.
First of all, you'll want to have this.
Ah, evidence room floor plans. That seems important, yes. And I imagine, the whole luminol thing, we could mark down luminol on maps. I feel like we're gonna get a bullseye in this area with the luminol.
That's the door we just came in through. Looks like you don't need an ID card to get out. I wonder what would happen if Officer Marshall cut the power while we were inside.
Let's hope he remembers we're in here. Oh gosh, is this the only exit from here? That's a little scary. Not great design. Kind of a bad fire hazard, too. What's the deal with this door?
Wow! Look at this big pile of junk in the corner.
That looks like a car door.
There's a pair of handcuffs attached to the frame.
Maybe the guy they caught was some sort of escape artist and he got away.
Hey, that's one of those human profiles for range testing.
He's been shot square in the forehead.
Better him than us.
Interesting stuff. Yeah, I wonder what the story behind this door is. Good question.
There's something sticking out of here. Looks like a shirt. I guess it must be evidence for some case.
I wonder if Detective Gumshoe put this here.
There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of slob. I'm not responsible for the evidence here. That said, I bet that evidence locker was opened recently.
How do you know?
If you leave things hanging out like that, the evidence gets dirty or ripped. The guard checks on that kind of stuff and notifies the detective responsible. How many times have I had him breathing down my neck about some silly evidence?
Sounds like Detective Gumshoe leaves evidence hanging out a lot, too.
I bet he doesn't tuck in his shirt under that trench coat, either.
If you're gonna talk behind someone's back, don't do it right in front of them, pal.
Yeah, that's not exactly talking behind a back if you're in front of them. Good call, Gumshoe. Now, what the heck is... Oh, that's cute! It's the metal detector and the fishing pole. Weren't those things that Gumshoe gave us? I wonder what that thing on the ground is. They weren't really evidence, though. They were like tools.
Some sort of bulky equipment is gathering dust here. What a sorry-looking fishing pole that is.
Ah, that's my personal pole. I never did get around to using it.
Wait, I've seen that somewhere before.
Right, pal. That's that metal detector. The one that led to the solving of that case out on Gourd Lake, remember?
Oh, right. Oh, wow. That feels like it was ages ago.
And... I don't think I've seen this one before.
Oh, that's a bug sweeper. I'm sure it will come in handy in solving some case sooner or later.
That cheap-looking box?
You can't judge a person or a machine by their cover. You gotta look at their heart.
Interesting. I wonder if that does come up. I wonder if that's a reference to... this was some delicious references to the original Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney game. Like, good on them for remembering this stuff and putting them in this, adventure that came out later, this case. I wonder if this is, a reference to a future case, that's in, Phoenix Wright 2 or 3. That this is, a nice little wink and nod to people who have played all the Phoenix Wrights. Because I don't exactly see what this is. And I don't know, maybe it has to do with this case, but I kind of like the idea that it's a little nod and a wink to people who have played the whole series by now. Actually, should I look at this on this sign or this sign? I don't know. Let's see.
This place is stuffed with evidence. Stuffed with dreams.
I'm not so sure about the dreams.
It won't open.
Did you really think it would?
Hey, pal, our security is high-tech around here.
I suppose that's an area where Maya could have helped us out. Emma's been a big help in this case, really has filled in the role well, but Maya could have probably just grabbed and ripped that door right off its hinges. Oh well, we'll make do. That's a bloody handprint right there. What's this? Blood!
It's a little worn, but there's definitely a handprint here.
It looks like someone tried to wipe it off.
Mr. Wright! What if there are other bloodstains left in the room?
We should use our testing fluid to check it out. Alright, I guess that's nice of the game to call that out. A little blatant, but it's possible you could have forgotten about it by now. So I guess good on the game for reminding about the option of using luminol.
Look, this one's open, and the red indicator light above the door is lit.
That locker is coated with Detective Goodman's fingerprint.
Detective Goodman's locker.
Are you sure it's okay to leave it open like that?
Well, it'd be hard to get it open again if we closed it.
Yeah, we'd have to like bring his dead body and stick his finger onto it, which is no bueno.
It's empty. They must have taken the contents elsewhere.
Big Money says that the knife was in there, you know. The knife that we're carrying around, the evidence knife. Seems like the obvious thing. But we'll have to see, won't we?